And lawmakers have 6 weeks left to figure out what they're going to do about property taxes. So 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker spoke to leaders from both parties and in both chambers to figure out what they're going to try next. Emily?
Earlier this week, we got a look at a third version of what House Republicans think property tax relief should look like for Hoosiers. Now, that version's author, Republican State Representative Jeff Thompson, acknowledged that the details in this version are not set in stone and could change. And today, leadership in both parties in the House and Senate seem to agree with that. With likely just 6 weeks left in this year's legislative session.
March 13th is never too soon to start thinking about how we land the plane.
How smooth a landing that will be when it comes to a plan for property tax relief remains to be seen. Even as Republican House Speaker Todd Houston said, Republicans in both chambers and the governor have the same goal.
I think uniformly we have a goal to reduce property taxes for homeowners.
But unlike the governor and Senate's proposals, both which would lower property taxes next year, the House version still has Hoosiers' property taxes going up next year, just not by as much. The House proposal calls for overhauling the current property tax system, cutting taxes on businesses and homeowners, eventually phasing out the current homestead deduction. It also calls for increases in local income taxes to fund local services. Houston said when it comes to lowering property taxes, there are both short and long-term goals, and he'd like to get both moving this session.
I'm extremely optimistic we're going to get to the right place in the next few weeks.
A sentiment echoed by Senate Republicans.
At the end of the day, where we want to get to is to be, and I think Governor Braun wants to get to a place where we can say that your property taxes are will be lowered next year in 2026.
Senate Democrats questioned if everything in the House's version of SB 1 could get done in the time left in session.
I don't have a crystal ball or certainty that we can do that big of a lift. I know that the Senate Democratic Caucus is ready to put in the time to get it done.
In their discussion on property tax relief, Democrats have called for that to include help for renters, something they don't believe the current property tax relief plan addresses.
We had it in our House version of our budget and it was rejected. So we can always try and take another swipe at it too.
So the discussion on property tax relief here at the State House is ongoing. That discussion is going to get a lot bigger on Monday when there is a rally set here at the State House for property tax relief. Participants are expected to call for lawmakers to pass Governor Braun's plan on that, and the Lieutenant Governor, Micah Beckwith, is expected to speak at that rally. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.